Introduction. The Akan are an ethnic group found primarily in the southern parts of Ghana, as well as in Côte d'Ivoire and in Togo. This book tries to shed some light on certain language, culture, and traditions of the Akan people that point to influence from beings of the Sirius star system. Just about every African ethnic group is connected to the Sirius star system in one way or another. These connections can be found in their legends, their language, and their culture. Africans and people of the world have been lucky to learn from great shamans and sages such as Credo Mutua, Malidomasome, and the Dogon priests, just to name a few that most people know of. However, there are many wise men and women, sages and elders of African groups out there who, in their silence and obscurity, are very effective in what they do. I write about the Sirius tradition as it relates to the Akan because it's the culture that I was brought up in and hence have the most access to. Much is said in this book about the connection the Akan and other African ethnic groups have with Sirius. This connection does not come to Africans via Greece, but rather via ancient habitations in the Arabian Peninsula, Egypt, Ethiopia, Mesopotamia, Nubia, and Sumeria. Being privy to a lot of information concerning the Akan through personal research and through being brought up in the culture, it was not difficult for me to connect some dots. I shall strive to share some of my findings in this book. In reading this book, you can learn about the Akan in ways not previously put together. Admittedly, much of the information comes from the sources of other writers. My contribution here is in the way the information is compiled and presented in a collage of sorts. For instance, I draw heavily on the works of Native American author Robert Morningsky, from the late Ghanaian philosopher and sage J.B. Dankwa, as well as from the African shaman Credo Mutua and also Malidomasome. I also draw significantly on the works of Meyerowitz, Christalla, and Rattray, who traditionally did a lot of work on the Akan. These works can be found in the reference section. There is information about aspects of the Akan language, culture, and traditions which link this ethnic group to the cultures of ancient Egypt, Sumer, and other African ethnic groups, and ultimately to the star system Sirius in the constellation Canis Major. As you read, you should be led to see a link between the names of God as used by the Akan and the ancient gods Nu, Enki, and Enlil, and other gods such as Inanna and Ninhursag. It will be shown that many of the gods of old were actually extraterrestrial beings. I originally intended for this book to be for individuals who are interested in African history, culture, and spirituality. However, its implications go well beyond the scope to reveal important information to anyone who is spiritually oriented and curious.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.